All right, you lied, pal.
Welcome everyone. How's it going? Long time to see everyone. So yeah, it's our group coming back again for Accelerated Gamer, our little mini series on great video games, new and old. I'm Chaz.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dubs.
I'm Zach.
Yeah, and we're kicking off with, in my opinion, spoilers. One of the most important video games ever made, and I won't hear otherwise. And that's the end of the conversation.
We're not going
Uh,
to have a discussion at all. We're here to
No,
preach.
no discussion. I'm here to tell you why you're wrong about everything you ever thought about video games.
This podcast
Uh,
is a bully pulpit.
but as you can see for my shirt, we are going to be talking about The Legend of Zelda, but not just any specific entry. Actually, it is a specific entry. What am I talking about? We're talking about Ocarina of Time, arguably the most important of those games. I said arguably. Um, that said, the whole reason behind choosing this game, this was, of course, my choice, was when we were trying to decide, coming up with this idea, we're all pitching out different ideas of games we could play, and I want to go back to the nostalgia of my childhood, and in the late '90s, there's so many amazing games that we could pick from and play. Well, when this game came up, two of the four of our hosts here were like, I've never played this game, and I thought that was an absolute travesty. So now we get a chance to hear what I would consider somewhat a unique perspective. We get to hear from two gamers who have never played Ocarina of Time to hear what they think about it, and then you get to hear me go on and on about how amazing it is, even though it's my 100th time back to Hyrule, and as well as from Andy. I'd like to hear his thoughts on the return as far as how it holds up to the test of time.
I'm
Um,
curious about something before we get into their first thoughts. Before you guys played this game, what was your exposure to it? Because obviously it's all over gaming culture. Like, what was your opinion of it? What did you know about it before you played it?
Speed runs.
It's a popular speedrun game, that's for sure.
it is.
Yeah,
It is a popular speedrun. Yep.
yeah. My thing is, my friend Steve, my close friend Steve in New York, like he is a big Zelda fan, and he always talked about Ocarina. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably one of his favorite games of all time. But back then, I was like, the only thing I always liked was Link to the Past. That's always going to be my favorite Zelda game. Now, is it the favorite Zelda game as of today? That will be a question answered later on. Uh, but the game, I've always heard good things about it, and I always heard that it's like a coming of age type of story. That's all I've known about the Ocarina of Time, and that's my exposure. And obviously the speed runs, seeing them do all the glitches and stuff, like it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, what about
Zach,
you?
how about you?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're just a hardcore enough gamer, you kind of absorb some of this game just by osmosis of being in the culture anyway, like on the internet or you got friends or something. Like back in the day, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 when I was a kid because, you had to pick one system and one died. The one I picked died, so I had to pick another one. And it wasn't N64, it was PlayStation. So,
Fair
um,
enough.
but I had friends that had it, and I watched them play it a little bit. And then, I don't know, as I got older, I made some friends that were more like hardcore Zelda fans later. Just hear things about the game, but if I'm being honest, most of what I learned about the game is really from being on the internet anyway. So, videos about video games, in a broader scope, stuff like that. You just absorb stuff about it.
Yeah, I think as far as that goes, this is a game that is kind of hard to escape its own shadow. Like in the sense of, even if you haven't played it, if you are more than just a very casual gamer, you've heard of this game. I mean, even at the level of looking at something broader like Super Smash Brothers, for instance. I mean, the the base model of Link is based from this game. The base model of Ganon, Zelda, Sheik, like again, they come from this game. A lot of the references in anything outside of Zelda that is to Zelda is related to this game specifically. Um, and of course, over time that's changed too. Like there are other entries and now that hold that popularity, but the basis for a lot of that is from this game. So, uh, and more importantly, you can see this game, especially once you have played it. or seen anything about it, you will hear over and over from any great series that's come out in the last 20 years that's a similar genre, you will hear reference to this game. Like Dark Souls is tied to this game. Goodness, any action adventure you can think of that's semi or full open world is tied to this game. In terms of being 3D, so there, its heartbeat and DNA survives in those games anyway. So again, if you've unless you've just been under a rock or you just play Madden, I feel like you've heard something or you have played something in essence of this game. So, yeah. That said, though, did and I'm glad Andy asked the question he did, because the question I had for you all was there any type of stigma or any concern you had coming into this game, thinking, okay, people just have overblown and overhyped this game out of nostalgia. Am I worried it's overrated? Have you heard like the satire of, oh, now because it's aged the way it has, have have people built this stigma around it that it is overrated? Like, were there those concerns there? Had you had any of those thoughts?
GoldenEye syndrome.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
GoldenEye syndrome, exactly.
I think what I was really worried about, which is kind of the opposite of it, is the controls, because the Nintendo 64 controller has that one joystick thing, and all the other weird buttons that they have on that controller. I played it on the Pro controller for Nintendo Switch, and then I also tried a regular controller, and I also tried the handheld mode, and I hated the fuck out of it.
Handheld mode is a horrible way to play this game.
Yes.
Agreed. This game
So-
was not meant to be played that way.
No.
So I bought this little thing. I bought the Nintendo 64 controller for my Switch, and I played it, and it was a lot more fun.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it kind of like brought back nostalgia of like the Nintendo 64 in general, because I did have an N64, but I never played this game, and it kind of frustrates me that I never played it. But as far as the stigma, it was just the controllers, the controls, and I wasn't too like worried about the story, because I always heard the story was cool, and as an adult, emotional, uh, which we'll get to, I guess, eventually. But yeah, my only stigma was dealing with the controls, and just like the last accelerated gamer, I had struggled with the controls because I don't play retro games often like you guys do, so it like really hurt me as far as that.
Well, one thing about that controls thing, and I'll get off that, is some key thing about the N64 and its weird ass controller is it's important to note. Pretty much every game that was made for that was made with that controller in mind. So whenever you try to unmarry any game from it to any other kind of game controller, it's always going to be fucked up and just feel weird.
The triggers are always screwed up. Always.
It's the triggers, or it's the analog sticks not right. Any of those two things, or the button layout even. Sometimes the button layout's just fucked up and weird.
Well, I have something to that, because it's funny you mentioned what you just did. But so I guess before I get to this next point, how did everyone play the game? I mean, I'll go first. I played it on Switch. I used the Nintendo Collection emulation that's now online, and played it that way. And I used just a Pro controller.
Yeah,
Oh, you
go,
have
Zach.
Okay.
That's already covered how you played it. Yeah.
Yeah, I played it on N64 natively. I played it fucking on a CRT on the N64. Yeah.
Nice. I was hoping somebody played it that way. Okay, cool. Andy, how about you?
I also played it on the Switch. I have a complete in-box copy. I'm showing off a little bit. On the Nintendo 64, and my 64 is hooked up right now. I could have played it on there no problem, but I had the Switch. I wanted an excuse to play it handheld, and I played the first several dungeons, like up until the Fire Temple as adult Link. I played in handheld mode, and then I was finally like, I'm so sick to death of these controls. I can't do this anymore. So then I was just playing it. Several times I would play it at my desk still, but I would set the screen on its little kickstand and use the controllers docked in the little holder, and that helped some.
Okay, so the reason I want to ask this too is again most of us played it through the emulation through Switch, and of course Zach played the original version. So time travel back to, oh goodness, 2008 and 2009. I'm in college and I am now just experiencing the beauty of emulation on a computer, and I
Oh,
discovered Project 64.
Mm.
that
When
late,
I
huh?
Yeah, that way. Oh yeah, okay. Let's not even get into it. This little hill person didn't have anything better than dial-up internet until he went to college. So that's
Oh,
the whole
okay.
thing.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah. No,
Did
no.
you play on the
Legit,
keyboard? Little.
yeah, yeah. Legit, like discovered that cell phones existed. They weren't just in movies. Like that whole thing. So anyway, yeah. So I get to 2008, 2009, and I really get into emulators. Like I am playing the Jesus out of Pokemon emulators. But I discovered Project 64, and the first two games I go to, Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time. The problem though is like trying to figure out how to play, and up to that point, I'd just been using the keyboard when I was been playing the Game Boy games, but I had found a way to hook up my Xbox 360 controller. And what I will say about the controls is that it is possible to make these controls amazing for a modern controller. The problem is that Nintendo just, for whatever reason, just he totally fucks that up and doesn't allow you the freedom to do it yourself. They just decided what it goes to, and that's why the controls are what they are, which is unfortunate because I actually find the optimal way to play this game actually to be on a computer with an Xbox 360 controller. Like
You rewired your brain.
I played the living fuck out of this game, like speed runs, everything. Like I could just blast through the game. That's why when we made the joke, we finished recording the first the other first. Actually, I don't even think we had recorded yet. I think I had beaten this game entirely,
Yeah.
100% full completion before we even recorded the first game for Accelerated Gamer, but it was because once I started, it was all muscle memory and just torch through it. But that all said, one thing I noticed though is it did take me some time to get used to the controller, and I tried handheld. Handheld was atrocious, and then I had switched to the Pro, but even the Pro just didn't feel right because I had reprogrammed how the triggers would work, and it's just, especially with that emulator, it was seamless. Like it was such a beautiful way to play it. So if you do decide to ever go back to it, I would encourage you to try it that way because it plays like it's beautiful. And I also have the N64 copy and have an N64 and probably should have done it that way this time too, just for sake of being original. But I was more concerned about time and like the ability to be able to play, which did factor in a little bit. And I played a little at work, so that was kind of, I wanted the convenience so I could make sure to get through. And yeah, of course I way overblew that, but nevertheless, so that all said, we've talked a little bit about kind of the stigmas. I feel like one thing I constantly hear, especially from those who have never played a Zelda game, or just maybe it's that whole thing of you have to choose, the classic Coke versus Pepsi. The thing is, well, I never played this game, therefore I have to think it's overrated because there's no way it's as good as Final Fantasy VII, or there's no way it's as good as Metal Gear Solid, or blah blah blah, whatever game you want to put it up against. Um, so I felt like that whole, I've heard that so many times from others talking about it, but I feel like this game in itself it stands out and stands the test of time for a couple reasons. So just we'll start. So we've been going to Dubs first. So Zach, I'd like to hear from you first on this. So kind of give us a brief rundown of like how you felt experiencing the game when you first get to open up to the world and explore it. Like how did you feel about how the open map was kind of laid out to you?
And don't forget to tell us about that title screen.
Oh, the title screen's amazing.
Oh,
That was like my first.
Right?
That was like my first impression. I started the game, and I was like, "This is one of the greatest title screens ever for a video game."
It
I
is.
just said
It
that
is a
outright.
10 out
great.
of 10. Yes.
So I was like, "All right, this is a good omen, I guess." I used to kind of, real quick, I used to kind of worry about things like that a little bit, where things get overhyped and you get let down because it's not really the case. So this can't be as good as whatever I thought. It's just that it's been built up so much over time that I would react like this isn't as good as everybody said it was.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody tells you it's a 10 out of 10 and you play it and it's a 9 out of 10, that's a disappointment, right?
And for
Yeah.
me, it's not. But like,
But I mean, like, it's just a general sense, like that, like it is not measuring up to what everyone's built it to. So I
sure,
totally get that, right? Like, I would get why someone would have that fear.
yeah. So like that was really the only thing I was wondering about. Am I really gonna like this as much as everybody says? And then, I guess I did. But yeah. Anyway, when I first got into the Hyrule map, I guess as young Link, I was like, oh, okay, so this is old school, so it's like you don't have some map that's got like a bunch of stuff that tells you what everything is. It's not super clear. You just kind of have to like go and find where everything is, and then it's not the interesting thing about this. Yeah, the interesting thing about this map is it's not really complex. It's kind of big for like what year this game comes out, but it's really easy to remember where everything is. And once you learn where everything is, you just keep crisscrossing the map wherever you got to go, and it's like muscle memory at that point. It's kind of like playing a like Metroid or Castlevania or whatever, when you just know where everything is. You just fucking zip everywhere. But I will say this: in the beginning, I was like, man, I wonder if they ever have like a quick travel mechanic. And then like way later in the game, they give that to you. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay. I don't expect it from games this old because that really wasn't a thing that much back then.
It's funny because there's still a level of complexity to it, because you can't just be like open map, select whatever this temple I want to go to, and you're there. You got to remember the song and you got to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so the first game we played in this, Blood Omen, did have its own quick travel mechanic where you can turn into the bat and just fly everywhere where you activated the marker. So there were games that did that. That game's 2 years older than this one, but like still, yeah, back then that wasn't a common mechanic in games. But yeah,
sure.
it was different in this one where you had to know the song. But
Yeah, and one thing that's different with this is compared to, like, because you brought up Metroid, like Super Metroid would be a good comparison. I mean, Castlevania again came out just previous to this game, so so that timeline wise, a lot of those games are these interchanging maps where areas can interlink with each other in different areas, and to a point that exists. But really, with this one, there is a central hub that is Hyrule with all of the branching pieces outward, and
yeah.
with a couple of places that let you quick travel, right? Like you have like the water area from the Zora's domain that takes you to the lake, but for the most part, they are all their own separate areas, and you just have this nice centralized location to kind of link them all together, right?
It has its like Mega Man effect a little bit, where like each level has its own like boss essential area and stuff, or kind of like Resident Evil 8, where you had that central area in the courtyard, and then you had different sections of the map where you have a certain story that you go through or a puzzle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and most importantly, like they're not even just distinctive as far as like what you're going to see. Like every area has distinctive features based on the temple that surrounds it. Right? I don't like again. If you go back and look, like everything is based on like entirely around that temple. So you have volcanic and fire with this large mountain. You have forest and you have water here. Like everything is broken to like an element. There's an entire like cultural group that is within that area. Like they break those into separate sections, but there's still a way they kind of interconnect, which is nice. I'm glad you touched on the travel. What did you think once you got to well, sorry, Dubs. What did you think about the beginning area? Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think he covered it pretty well. The intro is so badass that I just loved it. It was very movie like, very blockbuster esque. Because they like you had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past, and then you have this first 3D Zelda game, and then this is what you see. It's like fucking amazing. But coming from you know, uh here's the thing, guys. All you Zelda fans out there, I'm gonna fuck up every word possible in this game. So I made it very simple. The Deku tree, I'm calling him Count Dooku tree. And then after you get to that part, and then you learn the basic tutorial stuff, and then you go out into the Hyrule world and seeing the castle and stuff.
How do you
amazing.
pronounce the name of the village east of Hyrule Castle?
Kuro? Well, I don't know.
Kurosawa Village, yeah.
Like you have like Jabu. That's his name, right? Jabu
Jabu,
or-
Jabu,
Ja-
Jabu. Yeah.
Jabu Jabu. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's way, most of them sound like exactly the way you'd think they would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the most part, they do.
Yeah, but I, I just love the opening, and I think it's very welcoming and telling you that you're going to be on an adventure, essentially, and that's
It's
what
just
I
so
like.
peaceful.
Yeah,
Like I don't think there's ever a time that when I've played this game that like for the first time coming back to it that I don't just let it sit and play. It's like I'm so excited to do
there's
this.
there's one part where like you're leaving the Count Dooku forest, and then this one lady comes up, and obviously there's no voice acting in the game because it's N64, it's just dialogue, but you hear like the atmosphere of the forest, and I'm just like, I could just leave this on and just like go to sleep. That's how good the sound design, in my
Yeah,
opinion, for an N64
there's videos for
game.
that. Just ASMR, the forest, the
Lost Forest, yeah.
Lost Forest,
Yeah,
yeah.
just literally
slow
listen
down.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And her name's Saria. Jesus.
sorry.
It's so
Yeah.
frustrating because
Yeah.
I've played this game, like he was saying, like 100 times. I'm like, it's Saria, it's Kokiri Woods, it's the Lost, it's
It's Kakariko Village. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I just like you just say all the things. Yeah, it's okay though. So what were your thoughts on? Because there's like certain moments in this game, like we can literally just go through it, all of it, right? But I think there are certain things that always like hold up, and I have the list of the things I want to ask about. So, as far as the story progressing, what were your thoughts on the first time you enter the Temple of Time? Like that whole thing. Did that catch you guys? Like, I mean, again, did you know what was going to happen? Did it catch you off guard? Was it crazy?
You can go there before the crazy stuff
Oh,
happens.
sure. I mean, like when you officially go with the medallion. Sorry,
Sure,
when you
okay.
enter the Temple of Time when
The
you're supposed
spirit
to.
stones.
The
Yeah.
spirits, yeah, spiritual stones. What is it? They have each of their elements.
You know how many games have stones, spiritual stones, and they call them something else or something?
I know it. I know it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, they could have said collect 3 keys to
They
open
could-
this door in the church.
that
But
would
they
have
do it
sucked.
cool. They say collect
Yeah.
spiritual stones
Well,
to
what's
open
fun-
the portal in the Temple of Time.
Well, what's funny is like, as young young Link,
Zelda's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that Zelda's a pretty cool guy. He can't afraid of anything.
he ain't got shit on Metroid though.
he's collecting these, soul stones or whatever. But when you're adult Link, he has like this keys, and I'm like, why didn't you just use the keys in the beginning? But I guess it is whatever. But,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the thing really that happened at that moment. I mean, I haven't heard about that. Like,
We're assuming people who listen to this have played the game, right? We can just say
Yeah.
things
For the most
happen.
part, yeah.
Let's do it.
it's a fucking 20-plus-year-old game. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just be the guy. Go ahead, Ruin. So you initially start this adventure where you swore to the Great Deku Tree that you would look for the spiritual stones. You then find Princess Zelda, who also is on the same journey because they were trying to stop a man from the desert in the west who seems evil, Ganondorf, right? He seems like he has nefarious plans. So you end up getting the stones through the trials that you endure, and then you go to the Temple of Time, and you actually on the way there run into Ganon chasing Zelda away, and Zelda throws back the Ocarina of Time, which you then take.
run into Ganondorf specifically.
Yeah, you run into Ganondorf specifically, and then and
He's just like, there's some stupid child here. Who cares?
and he
Pretty
blasts
much,
you,
yeah.
and you go ah, or however it sounds. Yeah, I can hear that noise in my sleep. But anyway, you go to the Temple of Time, you unlock the door. Turns out that's exactly what Ganon wanted, because that gave him access, or at least what he thought would be access to the Triforce. But it turns out the Triforce is broken into different pieces. And when you enter as the hero of time, they decide that you are not ready to be the hero that you need to be. So you're frozen effectively when you touch the Master Sword, and you are just left frozen in time. Of course, you would age, but then you go 7 years in the future, and Ganon used what power he did obtain by using the Triforce of Power to then effectively wreak havoc on all of Hyrule. And I think one of the wildest things with this is, as a kid especially, I was like, "What?" But then you come out and you just find Hyrule just decimated, right? It's
That's where it
destroyed.
gets real. Like you're like, oh, I look different now, and then you leave the temple and you're like, oh, everything looks different now.
Yeah, but not even in a neat way or anything. Like it's like, wait, what happened? Did
Not
he
yet,
did he
anyway.
did he just 9/11 the town?
You
Yeah,
didn't know
that's
what
what
it
it looked
was in
like. It's like
1998.
a fucking
Sure,
crater.
but yeah, no, and like there's
Did he
zombies
just
and shit.
did he just the World Trade Center bombings?
Yeah. Did they predict this? Are they the Simpsons?
Did he Oklahoma City bombing this town?
Yeah. So, fun fact about this game, I was kind of in the same boat as Zach at first. Like, I didn't have an N64. I had a PlayStation. Couldn't have both. But I had a friend that had this game, and I remember one time coming over to his house. We were gonna just goof off, do whatever else. But as I came over, he was playing this game, and he had just loaded up a file. And of course, he's like near the end of the game. So when I for the first time, I actually see a adult Link, and he comes out of the temple, and it looks weird and crazy as shit. And I'm like, dude, this game looks kind of dark. What's going on? And I don't know anything about it, right? As a kid, I don't know nothing about the game. But I remember watching him climb to the top of the tower to fight Ganon, and Ganon, just the human form of Ganon, just beats his ass, right? So literally for me, the first visit I have of this game is actually seeing the end game with knowing nothing else about it or the context. So fast forward to a couple of years later, when I finally get an N64 and get a chance to play it, I had forgotten all about what I had seen until the point of seeing the Temple of Time and him become an adult, and I'm like, oh, that's what happened. So it was like it still clicked, but it was still just as shocking, even though technically I had known what was going to be there. So,
Mhm.
nevertheless, from that point, you have to go to the 5 remaining temples to get the medallions, the new versions of keys or spiritual stones or whatever you need in order to challenge Ganon. And uh, with this, you go through 5 rather unique dungeons, which have their quirks. One of which I think has a lot of infamy behind it with the water temple. It's the next thing I'd marked. But that's not the one for me that's even like that. That's why I want to get some opinions on it. But I guess I'll start with this. Did you guys have a favorite dungeon, temple, anything that you went through? And if so, tell me which one you liked the most.
I actually think I like the water temple. I always liked the whole the dynamic of the young Link and adult Link with time travel silliness of bringing the water level down and up and down and all that stuff. It's just I don't know. The puzzles in that temple fucking like messed with me so hardcore that I was just like, I need to solve this. And when I finally solved the puzzles in the water temple, I I felt accomplished. I've never felt accomplished in a video game before. Uh, than
What?
playing this game, because
Really?
you play modern games. Listen. I don't play Dark Souls. I try to play Dark Souls, and I suck at it. So when I play this game, and it's a little challenging with the puzzle and me beating it, and especially beating the boss, um, especially when you fight the dragon and stuff, and uh, I wrote down in one of my notes, I said I forgot what dungeon or temple it was, but there was like a snail fish thing looking thing. I think that was in the Jabu's belly or something like that. That you
Oh,
faced.
the giant jellyfish thing? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. It had like a shell and stuff, and it had a weird fucking face.
Oh, you know about the mini boss? The fucking
Yeah.
yeah. The weird octo. It's like a giant octorok, but it like chases you
Yellow.
around. It's when you lose. Yeah. So yeah, what's funny is there are like this game has like so many examples of wow, I found this to be a roadblock or a challenge until I figured out how to beat it, and then if you find out the trick to it, all of them have some trick to just make them cake, right?
Mm.
But it's just knowing which ones have that and which ones don't. But like that one, for instance, there's a way to kind of like cheese the boomerang around so that you can immediately get behind it and just spam it and kill it instantly. Like you can just immediately turn it around and do a bunch of BS. But
Do
if
you
you don't
get
know
it?
that, it's challenging for sure.
Yeah. Uh, Throwing the boomerang as a not a pro retro gamer really bothered me. I was sucking terribly.
The
I don't
boomerang
know.
was bothering me. I was telling you guys about this a little bit. Everything else has a wind up, like the hook shot and the slingshot and the bow are all like you pull them up and then you ready them. But with the boomerang, he's just like, yeah, God damn it. Okay, I gotta aim first. I forgot.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things. If like you don't have it, like you can get used to that Z targeting with the boomerang, and it's just on point. But
Yeah, Z targeting got me through this game, just like
oh,
it's
for
supposed
sure.
to.
Oh, absolutely. So I know you mentioned you like the water temple as far as dungeons go. Zach, what about you? Was there any one that stuck out that you really liked, or if there's one that you didn't like?
Um, I think I actually did like the Dark Temple, the one that you don't like.
Oh yeah, the Shadow Temple.
Yeah,
I
because
That one's my favorite too. The Shadow Temple is fucking bad as hell. Like the boss plays a giant drum. There's a boat that's covered in dead people that you have to fight to get to your destination. That rules. Like just aesthetically,
Yeah.
that's a cool ass dungeon. And also,
That's-
it's got the 2-part. Like you got to go back to do stuff and then come back to the future to do. Shadow Temple is the coolest temple.
that's part of it is the aesthetics. The other part is like, yeah, the crazy bosses are like the set pieces in there.
Mm.
I did see online where some people were like, this dungeon can it can fuck you up if you're not careful, if you don't have the right things. You get lost or you have problems. Like there's specifically this mirror thing that can help you figure out like what walls are false
The
or
lens
whatever.
of truth, I think
Yeah,
it's
the lens of
called.
Yeah, the lens of truth. Yeah, said
Yeah.
mirror.
right.
I beat this game in May. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
but yeah, like I didn't really have that big an issue with it. Really, I don't know. The boss threw me off the first couple times I fought it. Then I figured out, oh, this is what you're supposed to.
Yeah, like it seems like you're doing damage, but you're not. You're like stunning him, and then you got to do damage. Yeah.
I thought that boss was cool though. So,
Yeah.
Bongo Bongo, he rules.
Oh yeah. So I'll admit the boss is cool. As a kid, I think my hatred of this was nostalgia driven. Like
Yeah.
just as much as like something that you love can be nostalgia driven, I despised this one as a kid. I think I was a little creeped out by it. I also despised the well as a kid. And then when I got older and I'd played through these games a bunch of times, um, I found it like more of like, oh, this is a chore because there are like little annoying things like, oh, you got to use the lens and then you got to switch to this and you got to switch to this and like there's so many little like I think the boot thing is what made me mad. Like there's like the room with like the fans where you got to be heavy, then you got to feather, and then you.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
It gets a little.
Well,
monotonous.
that's actually one of my big hangups with the water temple, and I'm not
Mhm.
like there's a lot of these people that are like the water temple's not actually that bad. I'm a water temple apologist. No, the water temple sucks straight up, and it's not because like oh I
Thanks,
got
Andy.
lost. It's like I admit when I was playing I lost track of a key. I was like there's a key in here somewhere, and it took me a little backtracking to get it. No big deal, but it's getting into my menu and putting the iron boots on and off all the time. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's why I hate that dungeon. It has nothing to do with the design.
There's a video that perfectly sums that up. That whole going through that water temple menu, switch boots, switch out.
Well, there's a whole thing too of like if you miss the one key, you have to go back through the entire series
you gotta
of
do the water series again. Yeah.
and it's always the one that gets people is it's the one that is inside the building that is just hiding underneath the little platform. That's the one that got me as a kid. I was straight up stumped as a kid, like trying to figure out.
I remember that one this time. It was a different one. I forgot. I wish I could recall. The reason I remembered it though is because there's that terminal montage cartoon about the water temple, and he makes a joke about it. So now it's in here forever.
Oh, sure. And once you know it, it's like you never forget that one. But I can see like the other ones are pretty easy to overlook too. But nevertheless, I think this time playing though, I actually enjoyed the Shadow Temple a little more. I just took a huff and was like, all right, I got through it. And
what's your actual favorite temple then?
My favorite
Yeah.
temple is the Spirit Temple.
Spirit Temple's good.
I like the Spirit
It's,
Temple.
it's another one where you got to do as a child and as an adult.
I
That one's
like
cool,
the
too.
story with Naru. I like I think it's her name, right?
Yes, not.
Or no Aru. Like it's
like
something like that.
it's like a double vowel in it, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Right. So I like that. I like the puzzles with the mirror shield.
Yeah.
I
They're some of the
love the
best in the
boss
game.
fight. It's my favorite boss fight. Twin Roba is my favorite boss fight in the game. I don't know why. I think it's because it's the whole like
I know
fire
why.
ice. No, I knew where he went there. Uh, but yeah, I think that boss fight's really cool in terms of like it's also one of the boss fights. I mean, for the most part, a lot of the boss fights try to make you use the item you find in that dungeon, specifically the ones as an adult. But uh, even more so with this one, I mean, you were entirely dependent on that. And what's really cool about this one is that it is a shield that you have to use with, like, you can't really use it with other things. You have to use the Master Sword. You can't just use, oh, I went and cheated and got the Big Goron sword. Like, you can't use the shield. You have to actually fight with the what's, generally supposed to be equipped. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Another nice thing about that temple is there's no menu nonsense. Like everywhere else, you got to get in and out of the menu to use the lens of truth or to use the iron boots or to use the hook shot or whatever. And you are using the hook shot and stuff in this temple, but you get two things in this temple: the gloves of strength and the shield. And both things you can just equip and forget.
Yeah, that's true. You get them, and it's immediately things you can use. The
Yeah.
other thing I like about this one is, again, you got a good story like that ties in, that uses both kid and adult, and I also find it. So there's some humor in this one. There's like the one spot where you fight like another Black Knight, and they try to fight you, and they don't have the axe,
Oh
and
yeah, that is funny.
it plays. Yeah, it does that little bit
You
where
think
it's like,
it's the boss? Yeah.
and it goes,
Mm.
and it does the switch snap. Yeah. So. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know why that was the one that stuck out to me as a kid at the most. I really enjoyed. Aside from that, I enjoyed Jabu Jabu, which people think that I'm crazy for that one, but I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
you're a
it's
little
weirdly
crazy
cool.
for that one.
It's weirdly kind of interesting the way it looks.
It's
All of the
creative.
sphincters.
It is creative. It is an interesting concept for a dungeon, but
Mhm.
design wise, I think it's the weakest of the three children dungeons.
Oh, sure. It's like it's not like a
Children's
fun thing about. It's just I'm intrigued by how it looks. So and
It is cool. It's got a
creativity.
cool design aesthetically wise, but not
Sure.
yeah.
No, I
That's-
get it. Gameplay wise, it's like it can be a little bit of a slog, but
Well,
That's something
yeah.
that did surprise me about this game real quick was how humorous it was, because you mentioned how it was funny when the knight was like, oh, I don't have my axe. There's all kinds of little visual moments or visual gags or little callbacks or something, or the way some people just talk, like, hey,
Like
you're
Mido.
cool. Yeah, cool story, man. I'm like, he said, I didn't expect people to talk like this in this game.
Yeah, it is weird. It's very, very strange sometimes.
Oh, and there's also like the stuff too. Like, have you ever seen like the memes of this game where if you can pick whatever name you want, right? So you can make your name anything, and if you make it something non PC, they'll like you can put literally anything. You'd be like, hey, asshat, I need you to go do this for me. It's got that classic thing. Like I think Pokemon does it too. But there's a lot of really cool stuff. I think there's one where like if you name yourself My Dude, it's
Yeah,
like
my dude, that's the best one. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
best
that's
one,
like the epic one through the game. It's like, my dude, you're destined for greatness. Yeah, so I enjoy that one a lot. There's also Lon Lon Ranch, like just the shenanigans that happen,
yeah, where
especially
Mario
when
and
you go get
Luigi
it.
work.
Well, when
I didn't
Luigi,
realize that, actually.
Evil
Yeah.
Luigi.
yeah, when
Waluigi, I guess.
Luigi
Mario
finally,
and Waluigi work there.
yeah, when Luigi finally takes over and you have to fight him, like the gauntlet of
Horse
nonsense
racing.
he puts you through to get Epona.
Yeah.
I like the animation he makes when he loses. It's very
Oh,
funny.
he
I was
goes
like, I want a
absolutely
gif
crazy.
of this as like my display picture. It's very funny.
It is really good. There's also the Happy Mask Salesman, which is creepy as fuck. And they were like, you know what would be great? We should make another game, but make it centered around this guy.
Yeah, and I guess they did that.
Yeah, they did that.
The other, I also like the Gorons, especially the Goron leader, because he calls you brother, and I'm like, I like this guy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I knew the moment. I knew the moment I played the game again and he called you brother. I was like, Zach's gonna like that.
One of my favorite parts of the whole game are at the end where they're all like, take my power, and he's like, take my power, brother. And it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I guess we're kind of like spitballing right now.
Yeah.
Ganondorf, his people, like
The
you visit,
Gerudo
you visit his people. They're all females, and all
Right.
the males are like
losers.
kings and losers, I guess. Whatever.
Kings and losers. There's no in between.
Well, one king.
Yeah.
Every, I can't remember, 100, 200, 500 years,
How's that
a man
work?
is born to lead the Gerudo to greatness or some bullshit.
Is he Genghis Khan and he's just fucking everybody? Is that what's happening? Like,
I think they're
Maybe.
like,
There's probably some of that in there, I guess.
yeah.
I think they're like Asari or something from Mass Effect or whatever. You know, they're all female and they just reproduce female basically. But and then there's a mutant. There's an abnormal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And
there's that
that's
guy.
the one. That's the one destined to lead them.
Yeah,
I wanna know
usually-
why-
Usually all the men are like weakling losers and they can't do anything and they only like run, they only guard a door or something.
Yeah, something dumb like that, or their menial labor. I want to know, or it's not important because we talk about that all the time when we're talking about movies. We don't need to know why this guy wants to do this. We don't need to know the explanation for everything, but I actually do want to know why or how he ended up on the path that he did, I guess. Is it implied he was possessed by a demon? I don't know.
I think retroactively it is.
Because when he changes in the boss fight at the end,
Right.
you know, and it's,
Well,
it's
he is-
Ganon.
I don't know. There's a lot of discussion, both in and out of Nintendo and in and out of like fandom, about what is intentional in game to game storyline. And
Yeah.
up until this point, it seems to me, and beyond, I think also in Wind Waker and probably Twilight Princess, they were just like fucking around. They were just like making a new game each time. Let's make a good game. Who cares about the story? Or, well, I mean, they cared about the story, but who cares about continuity, rather?
Right.
And
right.
then they realized people are obsessed with that stuff, and they kind of started like. And then Skyward Sword came out, and it was like, you know what? There is some continuity. And then they did that Hyrule Historia thing, and retroactively they have explained, yes, there is like this great evil that was like released in one of the other games. I won't spoil it for you, and now it has like over the years been reincarnated in similar but different forms all the time, and that's what has happened. Is the leader of the Gerudo has been born, but he's actually the manifestation of evil itself. Or
Okay, so I think you kind of answered my dumb question that I hinted in our Facebook Messenger.
okay,
Because when you play Link to the Past, you go to like a dark world Hyrule, and I was wondering if like that is like bleeding into Ocarina in some way. Because
They make it
like,
that way later, I think. I think. Well, actually, I read that. I didn't read it, but I looked at the Hyrule Historia book, and I did learn some interesting things about it. By the way, I came to that conclusion: is he like possessed by a demon? That was like before I even looked at that thing or looked into any of that.
yeah,
stuff.
but how else would he like transform into this horrible monster at the end? Which, by the way, cool design, cool looking monster.
Yeah, it was.
Pig demon.
But like they split timelines or something where it's all a result retroactively of what happens in this game or something.
Yeah, this game is the linchpin for the Zelda timeline. There's like a split, you know, the evil or the bad future and a good future or whatever.
this is Terminator stuff right here.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is basically
Right.
it's Terminator stuff.
Yeah.
And it all comes from this game, and it creates several different branching points where some of these games take place. It's like the original Zelda and fucking I think A Link to the Past are in like a totally separate timeline, basically.
I'm a learning demon. I don't know.
A learning demon. The fuck?
One of the original games was dependent on the fact that Ganon had been in power at some point. So they just used the justification of, oh, well, it's the bad future from Ocarina of Time. And then some of the other games don't need it, like Minish Cap and a few other things, I think. But then, like, it still doesn't make any sense to me because, like, Skyward Sword establishes it's the beginning, which, fine, whatever. and then for some reason the world's created, and then for some reason the entire world is flooded, and then for some reason the world is created anew, and then all the other stuff happens. It just doesn't make any sense. It's
I look
silly.
at every Zelda game like an anthology or something, where it's like a
Yeah,
different
that's the way to
type-
do it. Each
Yeah.
game is its own thing, except where they say specifically this is a sequel, like the second NES game, the second Switch game, stuff like that, or
Yeah.
Majora's Mask for that matter.
And I think the anthology way is the way to look at it, because there are things that do hold true. Like, again, one thing that is recurring is who holds what part of the Triforce and why. Like those are all things that are very similar throughout the series. Although
Even
it doesn't
that's
always come up.
inconsistent. Sometimes there's 3 pieces, sometimes there's 8, sometimes
Yeah,
there's
I was getting to this. Sometimes it actually is broken up a little, so I guess it's not necessarily the one thing to go with either. But
they've stuck with
nevertheless,
the Triforce since Ocarina, though. This Ocarina establishes a lot of stuff that they stick with, like Link wears green, and the way the Master Sword looks was established in this game. And now it's like, it's merchandised to hell and back. I got the Master Sword letter opener right here, for Christ's sake.
nice.
I got an amiibo of Zelda somewhere. That's probably from.
Do you mean
Ocarina.
Link?
Yeah, damn it. Damn it.
Halo's a pretty cool guy too.
Yeah,
I really like that Metal Gear guy, but I wish he wouldn't smoke so much.
What I
It's
was
okay,
gonna say, what I was gonna say is I mark out for the small things in this game. Like when you're in a water temple and you have to have that that blue tunic that you have, and then you go to the fire temple and you have the the red tunic and stuff. I was like, it reminds me of Metal Gear in a way, like when you get the key card and you have to go to the hot area of the fucking map and then changes the card. It's kind of like that feeling. And then obviously if you play Breath of the Wild, like you could also do that type of stuff from Ocarina of Time when you're into cold temperatures or hot temperatures and stuff, which I really liked. I want to say, is this like, because think about it, Zelda's very colorful, very children type of game.
Parts,
but there's a lot of fucking dark shit in this game.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a lot of dark stuff in this
People
game.
get dead and re-dead. That's the
Yeah,
name of the
re-deads.
zombies, by the way. Re-dead.
They are called re-deads. So I was curious, how much of the game did you guys actually play? And what I mean by that is like
How much side
how
stuff?
how much side stuff did you guys actually do? Did you go
plant
just straight
all
through?
the beans?
No.
Did you catch all the giant pose? Or the big
no,
pose?
I got all the chickens for that lady. She gave me like.
Well, that's good. You get your bottle.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
I
many
did all
bottles did you finish the game with? 3.
Not all of them.
Very.
Three is almost universally what everyone finishes with because nobody is crazy enough to get the big pose. Except
I did
for
it.
me.
I always did it as a kid, but this time I was like, I've done it before. I have that experience. I just kind of want to play the game. I did whatever felt natural and fun for this playthrough, and
Yeah,
doing that, it doesn't feel natural and fun.
Chasing down a bunch of fucking ghosts is not fun in this
Yeah, I
game.
ain't doing that shit.
No,
Yeah.
that soldier in the alley was like dark as shit too, and I was like, what the fuck? Where the dude just like dies, and then I was like, shit. Like,
What about that fucking scary ass thing? It's I can't remember the name of it. You fight it first as a kid, and then as an adult in the Shadow Temple. It's just like huge white shambling mound with long.
Oh, the thing with the
dangly
fucking
arms
hands that grab
and,
you.
like, yeah, that thing's
Yeah.
terrible, and it has to grab
Terrifying.
you for you to do damage to it. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that thing haunted me as a child.
molest me so I can hit you, please? What temple was where you there's like this stone maze and stuff, but there's like these big guys with spears and they fucking knock you
Forest
into the
temple.
water.
Yeah, it's in the
I-
Lost
Oh
Forest.
yeah, that's the forest. Yeah, it's the meadows before
Yeah.
you get to the.
I think
hated
those are
that part.
moblins, canonically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Is that what they
For
call those
sure.
big orc-looking guys?
I think so.
Yeah,
Those are moblins.
moblins.
Yeah, I still don't know. I'm learning the names of some of the things. I don't have the manual, so I don't know, and I didn't really look at the guide that closely, so I never learned what they were called.
That's fine. If you don't need the guide, don't use the guide. That's
Yeah,
that's
I
the
only-
way to be.
Only for when I got stuck.
Yeah.
I want to know what the hell those things were in Hyrule Field that fly. They're like giant jellyfish for flowers, and they fly around.
P
Fucking-
something. What do they call him?
It's not
Yeah, I don't
Pole's voice,
remember.
is it?
No, that's an NES thing.
It's a weird name, by the way. But those things suck.
It's like
I was just-
Peapod something. There's I can't remember.
and I don't. It's not so bad after you can like get the horse or something, you know.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, you can't outrun them is the problem. Yeah, at your base
Yeah.
speed, you can almost never outrun them. You have to fight them. It's kind of hard if you don't know what you're doing.
that was one of the funny things about this game was like Hyrule Field as a child is like fucking annoying and scary.
Mhm.
But when you're an adult and like Ganon has ruined the world, he cleaned up Hyrule Field. It's safe now, actually. It's like all those damn things are gone, and I could just ride anywhere.
He Thanos the place.
He built the Autobahn out there. It's safe now, and it's
I
fun.
thought you were gonna say he built the wall.
He built the wall.
He kept the moblins out.
Oh my goodness. Make Hyrule great again.
Well, I guess Hyrule Field was good. Everything else.
Oh, here's the
that's
important
fun.
question: which chick is best for Link? You got Zelda, you got Malon, you got the Zora Princess, you got.
I like Tomboy Zelda as Sheik, please.
Huh? Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's an
Saria.
abusive
I got it,
relationship. I think Malon's actually best for him. He needs to just settle down with a girl that's just gonna get him lots of milk and take care of him. Yeah.
Just live on a farm. I can see him living out on that farm.
That makes sense to me. That's an important and that is a very important and clever trick that a lot of video games do. For it made more sense when you were younger, when you played this game at the right age. There's a lot of women and girls in this game that are receptive to Link. They like Link. They're nice to Link, and it's a way to trick you into enjoying the game more. And I know that sounds like skeevy and or sexist, but no, that is a genuine thing that game designers do.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, it
Makes sense. I mean, most of the people people
Princess
being
Rudo's her name. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
yeah,
Rudo.
she's funny too.
She's
I don't know.
very-
It's a thing. I'm not saying no girls play this game, but it's definitely a male thing. When women talk to you and they talk nice to you, it does something to your brain.
Exactly right. And
Yep.
game designers know that.
So
No
the
comment.
primary audience for games was boys back then. Let's not kid ourselves.
I do know a lot of women that like Zelda, especially this game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I mean, definitely, Zelda's very likable. I mean, everyone likes Zelda. I'm just. It's
Especially
something. It's not
nowadays.
just in this game. I'm just saying, watch for it in other games. You'll start noticing it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
I do have a question for Andy and Chaz. So you guys played it as children, obviously. Was there a difference playing it as a child and as an adult? Because
Yes.
it feels like as an adult it hits harder than maybe when you're as a kid. You're thinking about the game and the
Well, different
mechanics.
things hit different levels of hard, of course.
Mhm.
I think your priorities shift as you get older, and I think the same thing happens in fiction. Like something that was important to me in middle school, like these girls like me, oh yeah, is different than now that I'm an adult and there's like these people's lives have literally been destroyed for 7 years because like I dropped the ball. Like it's different priorities.
Or you literally see that thing play out in the game. God damn it! I wish I'd hurry up and grow up. And you grow up, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that literally plays out. Like
Yeah, no, like you're in a rush to like become something, and it's like, well, you're this now. Good luck. This is the cost of that. Yeah, I felt definitely it's oriented more towards the mechanics and gameplay were more of the challenge when you're younger because of just the nature of playing and learning how to play video games and understanding what mechanics matter and whatnot. Whereas the beats of the story matter. It's like even something as silly as like the Song of Storms. Like this is something that hit me differently. It's like the Squidward effect almost. Like when I was a kid, I liked it, but you go in and you see this guy and you're like, look at this jack off.
Torture this poor man.
Let's play the Song of Storms and fuck with this guy's day just for the fun of it. And it's a cool song too, right? I even used to have a T-shirt that had like the little map like of the song as it played out and the notes. And Actually, it's an
That
even
was
cool story. One of my coworkers one day was just whistling the Song of Storms, and I was like,
It started raining.
are you whistling the Song of Storms? It was raining actually,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, are you whistling the Song of Storms? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't know you get down like that. And then we just had a whole conversation about video games, and we're like bros now. So it's like literally this game, like I hit it off with someone and found out we had a common interest just through hearing that song. But nevertheless, when I was an adult, and even this time too, you go and you realize, oh, I have to play this in order to get through the game. But now I have learned that I'm gonna ruin this man's entire life by playing the song and driving him crazy.
Nah, that guy's a fucking weirdo. Why is he hanging out in that fucking windmill all the time, cranking that?
That's his
fucking
job.
rock?
He's windmilling it up.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
he's the windmill man. He's just and he was happy once, and then you ruined his
And
life.
then you ruined his life. And not only that, but it rains indoors on him.
Right,
It didn't just
like
rain forever.
you melted this poor guy's brain.
It's so
Wait,
funny.
why is it raining in here? What's
It's such a-
happening?
I'm gonna
I can't
remember
help-
like 12 more funny moments from this game when we finish recording. I just know it.
Yeah, the Skulltulas are fucked up. The whole thing
Those
of
are-
them being just cursed.
That is kind of fucked up, actually. It's kind of creepy.
fucked.
I didn't get all those, by the way. I got like if I found them while I was playing it, but there's one. I mean, I
Yeah.
found enough to get like I think
The adult
You
wallet.
yeah, you get the adult wallet, and I think you get
Yeah.
something else good from them later. But
So you get the Giant's wallet at 30, which is usually
Giant's
like one stopping point because you can hold 500 rupees. 50 gives you a heart piece. So if you want to max the heart pieces, you have to get 50. And then funny enough, 100 just gets you infinite money. Basically, you just go to them when you're out of money, and they give you
Oh,
all
that's
the
right.
money. That's
I
all
couldn't
it is.
remember what it was.
That's all it is at 100.
I got the heart piece. And that's where I stopped because then it was
Okay.
like, all right, I'm not seeing it. I finished the game. I was at the end anyway. I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
hunting these down.
And it's pretty easy to get them once you learn the little tricks. That's like cool too. Like they don't tell you anything at all in the game about what the tricks are to find them. Like that you can roll into a tree and one will fall out, or that you can send bugs into the area where the beans can be grown and they'll pop out. Like they don't. Nothing in the game tells you that. It's like those like weird like guide things. It's kind
You
of
just
cool.
gotta experiment. You gotta like walk around this open world, just horse around, just do stuff, just catch fish, just do whatever.
Well, here's a cool one. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're in an area that has butterflies and you pull out a deco stick and you just wait long enough, if a butterfly lands on your stick, it will turn into a fairy,
I never
What the
knew
hell?
that.
and you
know
can
that.
you can catch it as a fairy, and the
There are
fairies, of course,
fairies.
give you revive.
All over this game.
There is,
All over
yeah.
like all the time you'll just be in a dungeon and Navi will just change a weird color in a corner. And you're like, what? And if you play, it has to be the Song of Storms or Song of Time or
Mhm.
Zelda's Lullaby. Fairies will just appear. Like
Yeah.
Or if you just
there's weird circumstances for them all over the place. It's
Yeah.
neat. It like adds a layer of like, oh, there's magic in this.
Oh,
world.
here's another extra one that's random and weird. But did you guys do the Scarecrow song at all?
Yeah, by the way, I think it's bullshit that it wouldn't remember that song in the game for you. Like it put it in your songbook there. That's the only one where it
yeah.
won't do it.
Yeah, it won't. You have to like make it something. So what I always do, funny enough, and I've started doing this since Majora's Mask. I always do the fast forward Song of Time, which
Clever.
in that game I don't know why, but that's what stuck to memory. So I've always played that song to do for that. But like, if you use that, like there are several areas in the game you literally can't reach unless you have the Scarecrow. But then you
Yeah.
can reach them, and some of them are shortcuts. Some of them are to find things you literally can't get to unless you have
Art
it.
pieces,
Um,
Katalas, yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of interesting that they tied in, and it's never brought up why you would do it. It's just a random little thing, right?
I always do up, up, down, down, A, because you can't do BA.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. What'd you think about fishing?
It rules. Oh, sorry.
Fishing's
not me.
awesome.
No, I love fishing. You guys know when we play Age of Empires, and I just like to build shit and farm shit.
Yeah,
That
Walt
was
Uh-huh.
me
Disney,
with
yeah.
that was me with fishing in this game. I spent so much just fishing and then eating food.
So
Just being
Dubs
honest
needs
with
to play Sega Bass Fishing, and he needs to play Civilization, not Age of Empires and Zelda.
Yeah,
It's-
I realized that when Dubs was like, we're like, hey, how far are you, bud? It's been a week, and he's like, yeah, I've not gotten anywhere. I just assumed he's been fishing the whole time
you
because it is a
probably
lot of
right.
fun.
Yeah.
So here's a funny thing in fishing. Oh, go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
Real quick, just around the time we were playing this game, I kept seeing memes about fishing games, and my favorite one is there are two kinds of games: games that suck ass and games that have fishing mini games built in.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Fishing mini games rule. So I think this goes without saying. Soundtrack overall, music is amazing in the game,
great,
right?
yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. I had it on compact disc as a child.
Yeah, the music to the game is outstanding. It's one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest OSTs.
Yeah, a lot of
ever in a
a
game.
lot of the songs in that game got stuck in my head after I played it.
They
so
will.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
And it's actually clever because I think part of that is the ocarina. You have to remember the buttons, but then you have to do the tunes, and so many of them are so catchy, they stick, right? Yeah, I love the music in the game. Goodness, there's so many good songs. So let's see so we're here already. We've already kind of went through. I want to wrap up to my final point soon. But what negatives do you have about the game? Like what things did you think could have been done better or overhyped, or maybe even for the time, like, oh, they didn't get this right? I know we talked about one of the things, the tedium of the menu.
The menu
But-
the menu sucks. Getting in and out of the menu to equip stuff sucks. And I hate that if we are in the menu and you hit B instead of start, it says, "Oh, you saving your game." I guess that's not what I meant to do. I just wanted out. I just wanted to get out of
Right.
here and get back to my adventure.
Yeah, I agree.
Also,
the
there's
the
no
menu's
wind
a
up for
common
the
gripe.
boomerang. I hate that.
Okay, what did you guys have? Anything in addition to that?
No, it's just like I actually heard the 3DS Ocarina of Time has a better menu system based off of
Yeah, I used to think it was just kind of like a port, but I was looking at screenshots because I had to look up something about one of the dungeons, and this guidebook wasn't cutting the mustard. And I saw screenshots from the 3DS version, and they redid like everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like
One
a
of us should have
remake,
played that version.
yeah.
Well, I wanted to play the original, and after I played it, I thought maybe I'll hunt that one down for my 3DS collection later because there's lots of things that are better. Like there's the graphics are more differentiated in like the water temple. Like there's a lot more variety, and it's easier for you to not get confused about where the fuck you're going. And hopefully they fix that camera angle issue in like the tower in the middle where you can't see that block. It never really shows you what happens there, and that's why everybody misses that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, most of my gripes are just I said in the beginning of the recording is just the controls, and during like the N64 time, like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, and then this game, the whole camera thing really fucked me up as a child and still fucks me up today. So that's the only gripes
go ahead.
Yeah, that's the only gripes I have. Like the boss battles, like I said, I really like the small ones where you're fighting Shadow Link, in that one area. I was like, oh
cool.
shit, that's a Carl Jung fucking reference about your shadow self, essentially. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I dig
Also, that
shit.
fight rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fight rules, and it's a callback to a former boss in the series, right?
So
Because
It's the final boss of 2.
of 2, yeah.
Mm.
I always I did it this time on this playthrough too, but when I was a kid, I had got the first version of the Biggoron sword, the one that breaks, and I'd been hanging on to it because I wasn't sure what to do with it, and I used it in that fight, and when it breaks, it like breaks in the middle of this fight with your shadow self, and it's like the most dramatic thing that could possibly happen. So it has kind of become a tradition of mine to always break the first Biggoron sword in the fight with Shadow Link. And then
That's
really
really cool.
I usually switch to the hammer and rock his face off.
Yeah. Hammer and Den's Fire just totally fuck up Shadow Link.
Den's Fire feels like cheating.
Yeah. Like he's not ready for that shit. He does not have that equipped.
Den's Fire is the "I'm sick of this fight" button in this game.
It really is. It's such a powerful spell.
Did you guys get all the spells?
No, I don't know. Actually,
I don't
There are
think I
three.
did.
One of them's kind of useless, but there are 3.
Wait. No, I did get them all. My problem was I got Den's Fire way later than I should have, just because I missed it somehow. And like I said, I wasn't really using the guide until I actually
It
got
makes
stuck.
some puzzles way easier. That's for sure.
I learned that later.
Yeah, Din's Fire is like really like the one you really like need. Outside of that one, the other two literally are just they're superfluous. You literally
don't
don't
need
need them.
One of them heals,
You
and one of them like
literally-
teleports you. I never use it ever.
I
So
literally got stuck at a part where I couldn't progress anymore because I didn't have it. And it was like, okay, now I got to go back and get this spell.
Was it trying to get into the Shadow Temple as a child?
yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, I couldn't do
because
it.
I think that's the point where you're finally like you have to have Din's Fire.
yeah, you have to get Din's Fire in order to progress because you have to light everything to open the temple. Outside of that, it's literally the other two. Yeah, like Pharaoh's Win has an application if you suck at the game. I hate saying it that way, but like no, like it's basically a way for you to save your progress so you can come back, and if you were gonna like die or something. But if you've played the game enough and you've kind of understood like, okay, well I can get through this without even getting hit, then it doesn't matter. But that's just it's a good spell for beginners or someone that's more casual.
If you don't understand, you can grab fairies and put them in a jar. So it's like, oh, if you fuck up and die, you can just come back.
That's what I was doing. I was just rolling 4 fairies deep, and I was fine. This time it was 3.
Yeah, that's usually the way to do it. Just have fairies and not be worried about it. But
I want to point out how badass Link going up the stairs in the castle and shit, and then
the music gets louder as you're going up.
Yeah,
it's really that build up to the final boss is so badass.
Oh yeah, the castle part ruled too. I didn't really mention that before, but yeah, I really like the castle. Even exiting it too, like when it was crumbling, that shit was cool too.
Oh yeah, as you're coming down, yeah, it's really cool.
I don't really have that big complaints. It's all just little minor nitpicky shit, like the stuff Andy was talking about, and how I mentioned like there's only one song in the game that doesn't get saved into your fucking song list, and I couldn't remember it because I just assumed it was going to be in there. So I had to go back to the Scarecrow and redo the song so I would remember it.
Oh man. Oh, hold on, I gotta ask. Did any of you attack a chicken? I'm just curious. Did anyone?
Not this time.
Okay, Andy knows, but did you guys attack a chicken? Do you guys know the lore behind what happens if you attack a chicken?
I don't think I did it. No.
You got it.
Okay, go back. I don't even want to tell you. I just want you to go back and do it. You guys can load the file up. Just go to the
village and beat the shit out of a chicken.
Okay.
It's funny as fuck. You're welcome. You're gonna enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I mean, to me, it's all the same things that have been brought up. Minor mechanical gripes, which, unfortunately, not to defend it, but they're a part of the era of what existed. Like, they could do better, right? Like, there are things that they were able to polish up, and I guess they proved that with the 3DS version. I've not played it, but it's
guess in 1998 though, this game was like groundbreaking. This was a pivotal point in game design.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So to me, like with where it's at, I think the menu being what it was is fine. That's kind of where I was getting at. Is the menu being what it is acceptable because of, well, look at all the things they're doing that literally has never been done, or if it has been, it's never been done this well. So getting to that, I mean, but before we get to the last point, what are your thoughts on the game? Did you enjoy it? Did it live up to the hype?
No,
I'll go first. This is my favorite Zelda game of all time.
Yes.
Whoa,
that's what I wanted to hear.
Go.
Yeah.
Which ones have you played?
Very few.
I wait for him to say A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time.
A Link to the Past, Wand of Gamelon.
Link to the Past. I played a little bit of Twilight Princess. I actually beat the actual first Zelda game as well. That was like one of my first Zelda games I beat. Yeah. But I didn't like it. I didn't like the first Zelda game.
That sucks. I like the first one, but I only just played it like 2 years ago, so.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It actually did hit me in the feels. Just the ending of like Zelda telling Link to go back and live his childhood. And I was just like, fuck, man. Like that's
he does an okay job at that.
Yeah, it doesn't go as well as he'd like to.
It's not his fault.
He meets a real prick of a kid.
I just love how like it goes back to the scene where they're in the courtyard, right? Where Zelda turns around and there's Link
Yeah,
in
that's the
it.
final shot. It's cool.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that final shot. It's very movie like.
Okay, so
But
Dubs like that. It's cool. Zach, what do you think about the game?
Yeah, I did like it quite a bit, and I could see why it was such a big deal. Actually, it lived up to it.
Whoa.
Sometimes that doesn't happen for me. I'll watch a movie; it's been talked up a bunch, and I watch it. It's like it's pretty good. I don't think it's as amazing as everybody said, but I think it's good. Nope, this one did it. Is it a 10 out of 10 game for me? No, it isn't. But it's not really. There's not very many of those.
Mhm.
But this is high up. This isn't like the top 10% of games ever.
What's your favorite Zelda game?
It's this one, but I've only played like 3. So
All right.
and one's the first one, and I beat it, and I did like it. It's not anywhere near as good as this is, but hey, you got to remember when it came out.
Yeah.
Sure.
86, 85?
I think it was 86. And then Zelda 2, and I fucking hated that game and couldn't finish it. I tried playing it for 15
No one
minutes.
ever has. No one knows how the game ends. That game sucks too hard.
I was like, no, I can't do this. It sucks. So those are the 3 I have. I mean, I played A Link to the Past a little bit. I don't really count that though because I didn't really get that far. And I played Twilight Princess, and that game made me hate Zelda for a long time because I hated how the beginning of that game was.
It's got problems.
It's
Yeah.
too fucking long.
I'm still, honestly, I think this is getting into a conversation about Zelda at large, which I know is not what we're here to do. But I think the worst thing that Twilight Princess did is it made people scared to try Skyward Sword, which sucks because Skyward Sword actually kind of rules. Like a lot of people think Skyward Sword is bad, but they haven't played it. Like I love Skyward Sword.
How do you think that it did that? Are you talking about like the Wii version or something?
Yeah. People were like, "Oh, I played Twilight Princess, and it's like I didn't like the controls, and it was grim, dark, stupid, and I didn't like it, so I didn't play Skyward Sword." It's like, oh, you should have played it. It's fun. They fixed everything, and they made it colorful, and it has the best side character in the whole series.
I played it on the GameCube the way it was meant to be played originally. So maybe one day I'll revisit it. Now that
the mirror version.
Maybe now that I like this series, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. Also, adult Link falling from a really far distance is one of the funniest sound effects I've ever heard in a video game.
That's true. That's a fact.
Just like that fucking.
Are you guys going to play another Zelda game?
Yeah, at some point.
Which one?
I'm actually going to replay Ocarina of Time to explore more. And also, I want to play Majora's Mask.
Good, do it.
Yeah. Majora's Mask is a good follow-up to this game.
Majora's Mask has a lot of little tiny, like, stupid bullshit that just learn to live with it. Like, settle in. Like, put your shit in the drawers. Live there a little while. And once you learn to live with that game's bullshit, you'll realize it's, like, one of the best Zelda games ever made. And I don't say that for gameplay or aesthetic reasons. I say that for story and tone reasons. Like as far as what a game is trying to say, it's probably the best Zelda game. But as far as everything else goes, it's probably not the best Zelda game.
Yeah, well, I would agree. It is to give the meme to it. It is the Dark Souls of the Zelda games, but just in the sense of it gives you a very specific thing that is kind of a challenge. You have to just accept it. But
you know what it is? The roguelike.
Yeah, yeah. You overcome it though, and there's a sense of accomplishment that game has that no other Zelda game has.
Yeah, that game like pushes you down and shoves your face in mud at the beginning a little bit. There's a reason. It's building you up a little bit. Like stick with it.
Tears you down to build you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some anxiety there though.
Zach, which CDI Zelda game are you gonna play next?
It's the Zelda one, the one where you actually
Faces of Korodai.
Yeah, join me, Link. I'll make you part of the Faces of Korodai.
Well, excuse me.
I don't
know.
Squad-a-law, dude.
All right, we're getting off a little. So I wanted to find out from Andy. So again, you've played this a million times. Was there something like, do you enjoy it more, less than previous experiences? And which Zelda game is your favorite?
There's part of me that will never fall out of love with this game. When I was a kid, this was like the best thing that had ever happened. I got it for Christmas in 1998 and played the snot out of it. I had the official Nintendo Power guidebook. I had the soundtrack on compact disc from Nintendo Power. I had the set of 3 action figures from Nintendo Power. And I had the gold Game Boy camera with the special Ocarina of Time decals in it. They only made 2,500 of those. No, I have one of them. I love this game. Another thing I had. I'm sorry, this is really stupid, but I got to tell someone else about this because no one has ever heard of it. Maybe someone else will listen to this and be like, "Yes, that did exist." From the Scholastic Book Fair, I got like a little like the novelization of Ocarina of Time, and it was like like that. It was like as thick as a Goosebumps book and about as clever, but it was a retelling of Ocarina of Time, but instead of being like, and then Link said this and this happened and he met Malon and they did stuff, it like describes the puzzles in the dungeons and how Link overcame them. It's kind of like, it's like you combine a strategy guide with like a children's book. It was so bizarre and I wish I could find it, but I always mention it to people and they're like, I've never even heard of that. I swear it existed. Please, someone out there tell me I'm not crazy because I can't find it.
Did you search for it on eBay?
I think I've seen pictures of it online. It's just that someone
That's
out there is
wild.
like, yeah, I own that book. It was worthless. Like, it's not interesting. It's not.
That reminds
That's
me of
wild.
the Myst strategy guide. I think it was Prima. But there's like, it's broken up into 2 ways. One way is it's written as if the guy himself who you're playing as in the game is writing a journal. And he tells you all the solutions to everything as he's just writing in his journal.
Right. Yeah.
And the other one is just straight solutions.
That guide is so noteworthy. I think the Myst Wikipedia mentions it. Like, that's really cool. And that's kind of what they were trying to do with this, but they were trying to do it for 8-year-olds. So it sucks. But anyway, I loved Zelda then. And since then, because this was the first Zelda I ever played. I played this before Link to the Past or Legend of Zelda for the NES or Link's Awakening or any of that stuff. So I played this and then I played Link's Awakening and I liked it pretty well. And then a lot of time went by and finally, as I got older, I played Twilight Princess, I played Skyward Sword, I played Wind Waker, I played the original Zelda, I played Link Between Worlds, Oracle of Ages, Oracle Seasons, both Switch games, and a bunch of other ones I'm forgetting. And I remember thinking, Ocarina of Time, Citizen Kane of games, whatever. That means what? That doesn't mean what you think it means. But a great game, whatever. But it's not the best Zelda game because saying it's the best Zelda game is cliche, an old hat. I don't like being like Ocarina of Time is the best Zelda game. It's one of the best games ever made. It makes you sound stupid and not educated, right? And I didn't play it for a little while. And then we played it for this, and I was like, fuck, this is the best one.
Sometimes it's the best for a reason.
Yeah,
damn it. Like, I was like, maybe it's Wind Waker because it's so unappreciated, or maybe it's fucking Breath of Tears of the whatever, who cares? Because, oh my god, it's so open world amazing. And then I played this, I was like, oh, god damn it, no, they really, really nailed it. Like, there are little gripes with this game, and whenever I try to judge something, movie or game, or show or comic or whatever, there's always, 3/4 of it is, how do I feel about this right now? But 1/4 of it is, how would I have felt about it, or how did I feel about it when it came out, November of 1998? And the 3/4 of this game are like, almost full. This game's extremely fun, and it's great, and it's well made, and charming, and fun, and whatever. But that quarter that is, how important was it when it came out, is like 1,000,000,000%. Like, this is, like I said earlier, like, after this game came out, everyone was like, oh, we have to redesign how our game works because Ocarina of Time exists. Z-targeting and just the way the narrative works, and to a lesser extent, the open overworld. Like, other games had done that before, but most of them were like CRPGs, and they weren't really like just fun adventure games. They weren't just like, oh, have a nice sword adventure time. And then after this came out, everyone was like, well, if we don't have an open world, then I guess we can just go fuck ourselves because this game won't sell. So everything changed after Ocarina of Time. And this game was started around the same time and built on the same framework as Super Mario 64. And people always say, what is the Citizen Kane of video games? Which is an idiotic question to ask. But if it has to have an answer, it's Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time.
It can't be two. It has to be
is.
one.
It is. They were developed by Nintendo in two studios, but they had a lot of communication with each other. And the reason people say Citizen Kane is the best movie ever isn't because it's the best movie ever. It's because when it came out, it changed everything. Everyone's like, oh my god, instead of just having reverse shot and like static stuff, and we just set a camera up and film a room, we can have like dynamic shots and Dutch angles, and like we can do blocking and framing, and like fucking Charlie Kane can destroy a bedroom and it rules, and we all love it. Like, it changed everything. That's why Ocarina of Time is the Citizen Kane of video games.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in my TED Talk.
Okay, we jumped ahead a little bit. We're gonna get to that point next, but my favorite game is also Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh, I thought my favorite game's Zelda.
My favorite game,
Zelda.
I like Zelda.
So funny enough, I do have
like
a close second.
Crossbow Train in the best.
That's my favorite game.
I do have a game that I think, in my opinion, is a close second, but it's so different from this game. It's still great though. I really, really enjoy Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Yeah,
like, it's such a unique game. Like one of the most fun experiences I've had playing a handheld game on Game Boy. So, highly recommend those. But I've effectively played. I don't think I've played Minish Cap or Phantom Hourglass. I don't remember. I don't recall playing those.
Tracks.
Or Spirit Tracks. Thank you. I didn't play any of the other
Spirit
DS.
Tracks though.
But I've played through pretty much every. Oh, I haven't played Tears. I have not played Tears yet, but I've played through everything else. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to it yet.
God,
you haven't played Gamelon either. Fucking.
I mean,
that's true. You haven't played the CDI games. Get to work, bitch.
Yeah, I will.
Dude, come on.
We're gonna take an L on those. I don't need to. I've watched enough YouTube videos about.
Have you played Link's Awakening?
Yes, and the new one. I've played the original and the remake.
I didn't play the new one, but
the remake is great. You should try it.
I want to get that Zelda game before I get it, honestly.
I've heard good things about it too. I almost purchased it, but I held off. But I'm planning on getting it eventually. But point being is, this is still, in my opinion, the standard bearer of like what a Zelda game should be, or just an action adventure game. And you already kind of nailed on the head where my next take was, and it was that if we took the old time travel bus back to the late 90s, what are the most important games ever made? You
got to give me one of these next time. Tell me to shut up.
Oh, you're fine. No, you already hit on it. I'll let you roll. But when you look at the scope of gaming, and I remember watching a video around the time we were playing these games, or a little after, and it was about the most important games ever made. And there were some pretty interesting takes, but pretty well like throughout. Each person agreed.
Which one was Fortnite?
This was one of the. I think it was just one of two games that was on everyone's list.
That makes sense.
Amongst all the everyone had this near the top. Like,
do you recall what the other one was? Just so curious.
I think it was. I can't remember which Super Mario Brothers it was. It may have just been the original Super Mario Brothers.
Sure. No, I mean.
I know. Like, and again, just looking at scope of importance throughout, but yeah. I'd have to go back and look at that list to see, but nevertheless, you look at what games were important. Of course, like you have Super Mario Brothers from the 80s, which, again, video game crash happened. We almost didn't get any of this, but that little plumber saved us, right? So then you, it's not that I want to discredit Sega or Nintendo in that generation of Super Nintendo and Genesis, because they did a lot of great things, and there were some monumental progress that was made, but the leap from that generation to 3D and what changed is just exponentially bigger, right? And
I think anyone paying attention will agree with you. That's one of the biggest jumps we've ever had, is from 16-bit to 32/64-bit.
Yeah, just 16-bit was more about just refining everything.
Right,
exactly.
They didn't innovate; they iterated.
Exactly, but you look at that generation, and in my opinion, the four games that stand out, and it just happens to be four that always stick out in my head. I'm sure there are more that you could add to this list, but the four that jump out from that generation, I guess arguably five. Super Mario's there too, but we'll fill this one in for that. So the four, the Mount Rushmore, so to speak. You have Final Fantasy VII.
Hmm.
You have Metal Gear Solid. You
Mhm.
have Castlevania Symphony of the Night,
Hmm.
and which I know is an arguable one, but I have a reason for it. And then you have Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I think that's the one that fits in the fourth slot. And the reason why is each of those games were what then led to the trail that has been blazed for the remaining games that have come out in the last 25 years. Like almost all of them can trace DNA back to that. Even fucking fighting games can trace their roots back to some of this in some way or another. So I think that if you look at the trend of the most successful games that have come out, whether they're open world, sandbox, shooters, uh, again, your RPGs, all of them come back to the cinematic games. Like, all of them come back to those four games and how important they were.
I'm gonna push back on you here.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
I got two things to mention. First of all, Super Metroid exists.
It sure it does.
So, Castlevania on PS1 and Saturn, I guess, is a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. But I'm gonna take it off the Mount Rushmore, and I'll tell you what needs to be on there. That came out right around this time. The original Half-Life, the first-person shooter.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like
That's fair.
everything that has come after Half-Life, all the most popular. Like, what is the most popular game year after year? It's always something like Fortnite or Call of Duty or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I was actually thinking like Doom, but then you just hit the
93. Yeah.
you hit the nail on the head. The Half-Life, a
We're
jump
talking late
from
90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Half-Life is it. See, what's funny is in my headspace, what I think of that makes me think of, okay, this revolutionized and pushed the shooter. I think of Halo, that jumps ahead a little bit furder. But
That's
again,
true.
there's a
That's
predecessor. There's a predecessor to it.
2003. But yeah, I feel like it was iterating on what Half-Life brought to
You're
the table.
right.
And honestly, Half-Life was iterating on Quake. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think Half-Life, like Quake was big with gamers. Half-Life was big with just computer owners.
sure.
Yeah, that was like Myst or fucking The Sims or something. For a
Yes.
while.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's me. Like I said, I think you got 3 out of 4, but I would put Half-Life on there. I don't know if Zach or Dubs have any conflicting opinions, but that would be mine. You just about nailed it.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking of too. I was going to say probably Half-Life
Yeah.
instead because
Yeah, and you make a fair point with Super Metroid. So Castlevania, the reasoning behind me putting emphasis on it is because Super Metroid had come out, but it wasn't looked at to be anything beyond what it was. And the change with Castlevania, and implementing so many of the facets that it did, as well as some of the cultural phenomena behind it, then led to an entire genre that was birthed. But you can't do that
sort
without
of.
the other. Well,
But that,
right? Like you
yeah,
can't do one without the other. I think that's the
well,
biggest thing.
I was going to say Castlevania was kind of just in its own bubble for like fucking a decade, basically. There really wasn't a genre. It was just Castlevania.
Right.
Metroidvania didn't happen until like 2010 or something.
Right, right. But and a lot of that though was based, even though there were other games that kept coming out, they really weren't based on those future or games. Like they were actually still based on the Metroid, Super Metroid, and Castlevania. Like a lot of that was the heartbeat of that, and a lot of it even goes back to people going back and discovering speedrunning, and that kind of led to what we get in Metroidvanias now. But again, that's more iteration than innovation. So I can see your point. Like FPSs probably deserve a shout on that mountain. So I can get with that. But the bigger point is, because we're getting into the weeds here, the bigger point was that Ocarina of Time deserves to be on that mountain. And there's an argument a lot about how that game is the most important game of that genre, which I would argue it is. I would argue it is the most important game of that era, as opposed to Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy VII was just this tremendous force that brought the wave of JRPGs to the West and has led to so many great innovations too. And both are incredibly important games, and that's not to discredit Metal Gear because it's also important for different reasons. but I mean, literally, you can see the DNA of this game in almost every game that comes out now, right? Like, even if it's an RPG, like, you can see Ocarina of Time. You don't necessarily see Final Fantasy VII. Hell, in Final Fantasy VII's remake, you can see Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
don't see Final Fantasy VII, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I don't know. There's still, again, this is a show, this is a podcast about Ocarina of Time, so I don't want to do other stuff. But I don't want to downplay Final Fantasy VII's
Oh
importance.
goodness,
I mean,
no! One of my
like,
favorite games too.
the best way to look at it is, I was reading when I played Wild Arms last year. I was reading up on PlayStation exclusive JRPGs just because it's interesting. I like Wild Arms. Wild Arms 1 came out before Final Fantasy 7. Wild Arms 2 came out after it. They changed everything because of Final Fantasy 7. And people point to, look, there are JRPGs before and after Final Fantasy 7 because after that they were. It's the same conversation I just had about Ocarina of Time, except Ocarina of Time affected everything. Final Fantasy 7 affected
RPGs.
FF7 is the after death of JRPGs. There's before Christ, after death.
There's before Cloud.
Before Cloud, after
BC before Cloud.
There it is.
But yeah, I don't want to downplay Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy 7 was. I mean, Final Fantasy 7 was one of the first games that they were just like running television commercials for like it was a movie.
Oh, I'm an idiot, by the way. We were
There's
talking before
not
about
even
the two games that were on everyone's list. It was Final Fantasy 7. It was literally these two games.
I thought it would be. I thought
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect
now
sense.
Retroactively, man, if I could just go back. If only I had the Master Sword.
But there were reviews for Final Fantasy 7 in like real magazines, like not just video gaming rags, and people were saying it's like a movie. It's so cinematic. It tells such an epic story.
But yeah, but like that was part of the reason I wanted to.
That's not what Ocarina of Time did. So that was its contribution.
Sure. But that was actually the reason I wanted to bring it up, though. When I watched that video of important games, it was seeing how interesting their conversation was in comparing the two, because eventually it did come up which one was more important, and which one was a more important game, and for different reasons. And you're hitting on a lot of the same things, like for the actual structure of a video game and the elements and the gameplay that exist in general. We see more of that DNA from Ocarina of Time. Yes. Whereas the elements of story and being able to put such an epic premise of a game, and honestly, until recently, there are even heavier themes that I never even thought about within, like political themes that exist within Final Fantasy VII. And we've talked about this a little on the podcast, but like how it's really, a lot of it is just a way for these developers to express their frustration with a decaying government in Japan, which never hit, and how Sephiroth is just the embodiment of capitalism, and it's like some crazy like stuff that I never thought of. I just played the game and still thought it was cool, right?
But Final Fantasy VII, I mean, that's part of what's so great about it. Is not only is that, but it's also about the director's mother died, and he was figuring out how to cope with loss, and there's so many extra layers to that game. I mean,
absolutely.
Again, we would need another 2 hours.
It's like Metal Gear, like with Hideo Kojima. Like he, most of his games deal with the loss of his dad and stuff, or not seen enough of his dad, and that's why you have like the big boss type of figure and all that.
You saying Metal Gear Solid might deal with some kind of like theme about like parental, like paternal stuff? Yeah, that's weird. I hadn't thought about that. Huh. No, you hit the nail on the head, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I think though, getting back on track a little. So again, I think that we can all agree. It sounds like we're all in agreement. This game was incredibly important to what we have now in gaming, for better or for worse. I mean, and I think
doesn't matter what we think. It is.
It just is, right? But I think it deserves all of that praise because it also still holds up. Like I still argue, graphics be damned. Like, because who cares about that? Like, as far as gameplay and story, this game still holds up just as well now as it did then. No nostalgia is really needed. Like,
just don't play it in handheld mode on the Switch.
Yeah,
true. Do that because you'll have a bad time.
But here's a question for Chaz, since you're the only one here that has a child. Are you going to be passing on Ocarina of Time for your daughter to play this game?
Maybe. So it's one of the fun things, for those that don't know, like we've been on a little bit of a break between seasons for our show while doing this, and one of the big things that's happened is Evie has taken a liking to video gaming. We're actually nearly finished with Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's an entire playthrough where she and I have done it together. So for the first time, so that's really cool. And yeah, I don't know if she'll want to pick up to that extent, but my hope is that if she wants it, it would be there because I will eventually want to show her other games, and that would definitely be one that like you should try this. Um, but then again, I don't know. It'll just depend on what her own interest is. She still very much has a very short attention span, so we'll have to wait and see.
Gotcha.
Gotta go fast. Gotta play Sonic.
Yeah, them TikTok kids love Sonic. So yeah. Well, any other last comments about Ocarina of Time?
Sucks.
Amazing.
Overrated piece of trash.
Yeah, you guys should just play Final Fantasy instead. Play both. They're both amazing.
I have so many different fucking copies of Final Fantasy VII. It's insane. I have the original PlayStation 1. I have fucking Nintendo Switch. I have PC. I also have the fucking remake 1 and 2 and all that stuff. Oh, that actually brought up a question for you guys. Do you think Ocarina
Should
of
be
Time
remade now.
deserves a remake?
Nope. I do not.
It
needs to stay exactly where it is.
It was remastered.
It was remastered, but like we do not need a remake of the game. It needs to stay exactly where it is because you could play it now and still enjoy it, and that's just what it is. In my opinion,
I really wish the industry, and I know they won't, but I really wish the industry would arrive at the decision that everyone else has kind of arrived on their own. Is if they're going to remaster something, they should remaster something that didn't do well the first time. They should perfect something where there was something there, but it didn't quite get there. But why would you remaster something that's already great? It just doesn't make sense.
Is that why you're weary about Metal Gear Delta?
Partially,
because you're just like
that's a whole nother conversation. I won't even broach it. I can't. There's a lot wrapped up in my trepidation about that game.
Yeah, but man, this game, I kind of just am a little mad at myself that I didn't get to play this as a child because I missed out.
I think of that all the time. It's never too late.
Yeah, and me finally playing it, I'm glad I played it, and I still gotta add the last game that we did on Accelerated Gamer, and then this on our little thing that we got going on.
Accelerated Gamer.
The Google Doc. Yep. But yeah, that's my final thoughts. It's my favorite Zelda game. Now, is it the top 10? I don't know. I would have to think about that for a little bit.
Top 10 of all time?
Top 10 meaning games. Yeah, all time of games. That's something that you know me. I'm weird with ranking.
Well, when you say that, are you talking like your favorites when you're saying that, or are you trying to say objectively?
Yeah, favorite.
Okay.
Favorite of all time. My favorite.
Okay. Because I think that's the funny thing is that I feel like this game, if you were looking at the 10, 100 most important games ever made, or 10 or whatever, like objectively, this list is going to be this is at least in the conversation, if not almost always on that list somewhere. Probably near the top, to be honest. However, in my personal list, I don't even know if it's in my top 10. But I love the game. Like, again, don't get me wrong. It probably is in that top 10, but it may not make it. It's like 11. There are a lot of other games.
Pretty certainly, it's not in my top 10 favorites. Now, if you're making a list of the top 10 games that like made me, like influenced me, yeah, it's on that list. But
for sure. I feel the same way. But again, there's something to be said about that. You can enjoy a game that is that important, has had that much influence. It doesn't necessarily have to be a perfect game. Because I don't think it's perfect. It's really close, in my opinion, but it's not perfect. But yeah, that's it though. If you've never played it, you've been under that rock all those years and thought, you know what, I should come out and try it. It's definitely still worth the pickup. So do we want to talk about what the next game will be for our mini series here that we're doing?
We can, as long as no one else has any more Ocarina of Time thoughts.
Yeah, it's like anybody else. Add anything, Zach? Something? Want to say it sucks one more time?
No, it's I like it. It's just part of the reason why I do retro gaming, so I can play things I missed and see. Oh, it was great, or I can find
It's
I can
fat.
find hidden gems, or stuff I missed. And so this game's underappreciated. This is part of the whole reason I do that, and also so I can have games to play for when the industry eventually collapses under its own weight.
Hmm.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry about dragging this a little bit further, but uh, to introduce the Zelda franchise to people, would this be their first entry?
I say yes, but that's just because it was my introduction to the series, so I'm biased.
I think if probably Breath of the Wild would be what most people would say now, but
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
it's yeah. I feel like you'll have a tough time trying to convince people now with this one, but
Yeah,
logically,
with the controls, especially.
logically, I think that would be it. Like if we're just talking pure, you want to get the most out of playing your first one, maybe this one, but
Yeah. All right. Well, Andy, you have a special stipulation for your game, so
Sort of. I have an addition. It's a game and a movie that we're gonna do, but there's a good reason for it. We're leaving the '90s. We're gonna jump ahead to the 2000s. The Xbox 360, the Nintendo Wii, and the Sony PlayStation 3 are in stores. For the next episode of Accelerate Gamer, we're going to play John Woo Presents Stranglehold, a oft forgotten about third-person action shooter. It is the direct sequel to John Woo's own Hard Boiled, a Hong Kong action movie from 1992. So we're going to watch the movie, we're going to watch Hard Boiled, and then we're going to play Stranglehold, a third-person shooter from the Xbox 360 and PS3 that did not even really sell that well.
Cool.
I think this game is very underappreciated, and I'm going to kind of keep it under wraps. Why? I'm going to let you guys play it, and then we're going to kind of get into it together. But do watch the movie first, because it establishes Inspector Tequila. He's the main character, and he rules.
where besides like Xbox 360, if people don't have the retro,
I'm glad you said that. I meant to say that.
uh,
Yeah, you can get it on 360 and PS3. It costs like nothing. It's like $10 at a used game store or eBay. Or what I would recommend is there's a slightly polished version that's available. I don't know if it's on Steam, but it's definitely on GOG, and you should buy games on GOG if it's available both places anyway. And it goes on sale all the time for less than $10. So that's the way to do it. You're gonna have a little time because we have the spaces in between Accelerated Gamer are always much longer than our other projects. So pick up Stranglehold, watch Hard Boiled, and then play it. And I think you'll see why I think that this game's underappreciated. And then you can come back and hear us talk about why this game's underappreciated, or they'll all hate it. I don't know. It could be either one.
Yeah, come back to hear why
I
Andy's
played, like, 10
crazy.
minutes of it.
Yeah, I'm crazy. No, it's
Ooh.
it's an encapsulation of another important game moment in my life, because we're talking about the late 90s and Metal Gear Solid, Half-Life, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy 7. I played all these games and they formed me, but in the mid to late 2000s I was in college and I was buying Halo and BioShock and Ghost Recon and Stranglehold, and like that was also forming me as a person and as a gamer. So that's what we're going to be discussing next time.
I always compare Stranglehold, because I did play 10 minutes of it, to Max Payne.
Yes, there's a lot of
because
Max
the
Payne
slow
in
build
there.
Time. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Man, Max Payne sucks. I'm gonna hate this.
Yeah, you will then.
I've only played Max Payne 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So, well, for those who watched or listened, appreciate you taking the time to hear us and our crazy thoughts about a game that has been covered, so many other times. But nevertheless, if you like hearing our content, please feel free to check us out on Big Trouble Media. You can find us pretty much anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You know where to find us. So, subscribe. Follow along. We'll be picking up Big Trouble and Little Podcast really soon with the new season. And, of course, we'll have our Accelerated Gamer mini-series coming out shortly as well with the next episode. And feel free to always message us as well. Send in feedback, what you liked, what you didn't, what you'd like to see. We'll probably ignore it and just do our own thing anyway. But hey,
Yeah, somebody went on one of our episodes and like commented in Spanish, and I was like, all right,
All right.
I don't know what to do.
So you
All
did
right, yeah.
Yeah,
10 seconds to translate it? What?
Thank you
Yeah,
for
brother.
your call.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Thanks, brother.
No. I actually, I did hit the translate button, but it's literally him talking about the plot of the movie. Like it's like a synopsis that they got from IMDb, and I'm like,
It's probably a
I don't know
bot.
how
Who
to,
knows?
like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an AI
Yeah.
bot.
El
Of
Bato.
course.
El Bato Doritos.
Goddamn clankers.
Clinkers. Look, clinkers.
All right. Well, thanks again. Yeah, you can catch us on the next one.
Thanks for listening.